One Zambia, one nation. Welcome to Zanis News. I'm your presenter, Alice Banda. Let's take a look at the headlines. Women across the country engage in activities to celebrate their day. Zambian Defense Forces commended for being professional. Plus, Zafford calls for construction of more schools. We begin the news with various women activities across the country. Now, women are key in the well-being of families and the development of the country at large. In Mopani District, in Lulu Province, women have continued to be part of the development agenda and have ventured into different business activities. More in the following report.
Invest in women and girls, accelerate progress is the theme for this year's International Women's Day. In Mopani District in Lulu Province, women have ventured into different business activities to better their livelihoods. Victoria Lengwe, a resident of Mansa, shares her story on how she started her business of selling second-hand clothes.
Online business yandi natampilia kanisani bali lyanishita fenishi na bachiru babalete kwenda pano maineto wapana na abantu bebandi na kuilefe mu chupo chanji 2 years then abantu bebandi nenchito yapo na shira ikala panshi mwele sana lambo kuchitenshi bakuti nkwanishe abana banshiwa pamando kokutila ine mufamily munyesu walifelo abaliteni then abalifo bonse bafwa ino banshila abali natampilo kushatoka first business ya mu life yandi natampilo nalishile naleka nomba namba kushisha chisenze pa market mukuya ndewa ya wafafina abana banshiwa bale abalekula nokula twatulelia so natampilo kuya mumpanga ndina sendo to wakufwala na mumpanga mukabula nakabula mulimbi chilemba ndimbalala na bwela pa market ndeshitisha tampo kushisha usalaula naleya mumuli bale abantu bakwata masalaula yengi bakwata mashop then ngabashitisha ifi ashalelo naye mwe bantu mpeleni kwefi nje rukushitisha natampilo kusambira mashini kana ne hotel la nalishi kubira mali sana ninkota nangu 35 years mu business yandi ndawa elokuwa entendekelo ya muntu wakwata amani.
Mrs. Lengwe also encourages other women to venture into business.
Limona ifo ne fweba upwa that's what tusangusangira problem yako kutila limbi umwe obenga isafwa wafuna kuti ushale usungi abana pamwe ndokoti na ukwata umwa umewo wachita depend so nacho ningafwa nde afwa ko fya abana kashu ababambi abade tumpika nomba mkulano wafe na mabwalwa filefe bade chitata bade chitefu suma bala firo kusunga abana nacho kuti bayitampiro kushisha panono kabakale bulirwa nangu tukwacha nangu 10 kwacha kuti bashitokunga barisha mu abana bantu ngabale abale lumba bala firo kuikana na mala firo kuichindika ala ichindika shani yintiro ala ingila pa market alambo kutoshani alambo kubunga.
Mrs. Lengwe, through her business, is also supporting other people to better their livelihoods.
Awafyashi banji gishefe mu grade 1 efe banshire no kunshefe kwenye school nomba na shire monati abakunga kwerisha shikwepi echo funa shire isa kuliba mwana nambo kubombana vena bambo kunsambirisha saraulo kushisha na paka nasa kumanya na koyezo kubombana vena awo ndo kwabona nomba tilinde chita enjoy nenchito yangi.
Betsheba Katebe reporting for Zanis News in Mopani District in Lulu Province.
Meanwhile, Kasama District Commissioner Annie Paul has led women from various departments in cleaning some wards at Kasama General Hospital. The women also donated food and non-food items to the hospital as part of its plan to commemorate the International Women's Day, which falls tomorrow. Japhet Munkondia gives us more.
Women are the backbone of the family and play a crucial role in the development of society. In Kasama District, women from all walks of life turned up in numbers to clean some wards at Kasama General Hospital. Kasama District Commissioner Annie Paul also led some women in handing over assorted items to the hospital administration. The DC indicated that the activity is one of the many that were lined up toward the Women's Day celebrations.
Decided to celebrate this year's Women International Day in Stow. We decided to come and visit our colleagues that are in the hospital, the mothers that are nursing their sick children. As women, we are committed to stand together, to stand strong, support each other, whether we're in celebration or in sorrow, we make sure that just as we have demonstrated here, as women, we are here to stand for each other.
Dr. Sachimo Siamayanda is Kasama General Hospital Medical Superintendent and is happy with the gesture.
As for Kasama General Hospital, we really appreciate your donation to our women who are suffering or who are still nursing their patients in the ward. And this is the way it should be. As the people who are privileged, we should have the love of a common people so that we coexist.
Those nursing the sick could not hide their joy. This year's International Women's Day celebrations will be commemorated under the theme, Invest in Women and Girls, Accelerate Progress. Reporting for Zanis in Kasama, I'm Jafet Munkondia.
Women from various sectors in Lulu District have turned up for different community activities leading to the event, which falls tomorrow, 8 March 2024. Lulu District 2024 International Women's Day Acting Organizing Chairperson Monde Lisulo says the committee is engaging in various activities to commemorate the event. Take a look.
Women from different sectors and communities in Lulu District of Western Province this week carried out various activities as a form of celebrating this year's International Women's Day. Among of the activities done were charity works at different places, visiting the sick in the district hospital, and inmates at the police cells.
So the women turned out were also involved in the cleaning. That was for charity, and there were donations that were done also in Chibanda. The one that was chosen was the female ward. So some women organized themselves from the council and they donated. So equally today, we'll bring in some goodies here to the women themselves. Apparently we only have 2, but we have about 13 men. So in total, we supported 15 inmates.
The world is investing in women and accelerating their progress. Women of Lulu District are saying thank you for the many opportunities given to them, notably that the district has a good number of females in leadership positions.
So we want to accelerate the progress of women. Let every woman stand on their own and be fair. You don't have to be asking from men all the time. So we need to empower them. And once we empower them, even ourselves, we can empower ourselves as a woman. So this is the way of lifting one another.
The noble cause of celebrating this year's event through charity works has been applauded.
Especially those that are in custody, I think I would like to take this opportunity to thank them. And it's like early in the morning we received the other women again that came to clean the surrounding and the other things. To thank them very much for the gesture that they have given us.
Rita Kabindama, Zanis, Lulu District, Western Province.
In other news, a youth in Mopani District in Lotion Province who benefited from the Constituency Development Fund CDF under the loan component has thanked government for the funds. Ted Mushili, a director for Home Shop General Dealers, says he acquired a loan and has managed to purchase a block-making machine worth over 106,000 kwacha. More in the following report.
Ted Mushli is one of the youths in Mopani District who were empowered under the loan component of the Constituency Development Fund CDF. Mr. Mushli now explains how he has utilized the funds acquired.
We got a loan from CDF and we managed to purchase a block-making machine, which was about 106,000 kwacha. We have a demand for blocks. The government is building infrastructure like schools and staff houses. This is what we are giving our customers. We are giving them good quality blocks that they need at the time. For a start, we are producing about 500 a day, and the machine itself can produce about 2,000 per shift. So I'm encouraging all the youth in our district to take this opportunity to finance their dreams, can access the CDF loans and finance their dreams.
The empowerment has proved to be a source of income even for other youths in the area.
Mutego wali kufinisha CDF wali tupako tegegombako so tegegombako tulekanga kama broko wali tupako mashini yako wali tulegwa kya mundira mu yafina tepanga broko
owe mungu twafa fe bwino panto tuli mu kwikalira mu kukira ngefe chajo ko mu tofumini
Okay.
ati tuli mu kwikala ko ngona ina nchitatu kaiteka.
The situation is similar even for the women groups who were empowered with grants.
Iyo batupele ndama 39 twalikula mu ekikulu eki kiremoneka. Twashitira mone nkumbe shiri 5. Aba twashitira nkumbe shiri 5 pano pankumbe shiri 5. Nkumba shesu shonze na shifyala abana abali 14 fina pashala imo shira fyala. Mukwayi ku kibungwe tuli abatasha kabiri tuli abatotera.
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Mwense, Luapula Province.
We continue with the news. Zambia's High Commissioner to South Africa, Mazuba Monze, has commended the Zambia Defense Forces for protecting not only its people, but also other nationalities. Ms. Monze said this during a luncheon hosted by the Zambian Embassy in South Africa for a group of officers from the Ministry of Defense, led by Permanent Secretary Norman Chipakupako. The team is in that country to attend the 10th Zambia-South Africa Joint Defense Committee meeting. Jens Malumba is in South Africa and brings us this report.
A luncheon was held to welcome the Zambian delegation from the Ministry of Defense who are in South Africa. Zambia's High Commissioner to South Africa, Mazuba Monze, hosted the luncheon, which was held at the Zambian Embassy in South Africa, Pretoria. The team, which was led by the Ministry of Defense, Permanent Secretary Norman Chipakupako, are in South Africa to attend the 10th session of the Zambia-South Africa Joint Defense Committee. Ms. Mazuba commended the Zambia Defense Force for exhibiting professionalism and hard work in their day-to-day duties.
I did say that I would explain why the Dean of the African Diplomatic Corps was going to be here. He said the Zambia Defense Force are wonderful. They are professional, they are of good conduct, and very hard-working. He said the female officers are involved in at community level, and the people love them. You can imagine as a Zambian when I heard that.
However, Ms. Mazuba challenged the Zambia Defense Force to join hands with the Zambian government in fighting the devastating dry spell that the country is currently experiencing.
I would implore to join hands with the rest of the nation to fight this scourge which has come through, the scourge of drought.
Major Christopher Himaloa, staff officer at the Ministry of Defense, represented the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Chipakupako.
We recognize the Defense Force of Zambia as one of the disciplined forces in Africa. Madam, we cherish these sentiments as members of the Defense Force of Zambia, and we shall always carry the Zambian flag.
Jane Simalumba Zanis in Pretoria, South Africa.
About 100 households will benefit from small solar-powered water schemes being constructed in Nashinga village of Chinsali District in Mchinga Province. The project is aimed at improving access to clean and safe water. Chinsali Municipal Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Lolavie Simukoko disclosed the development to Zanis in an interview. Mr. Simukoko says the 2023 Constituency Development Fund was used to fund the project with a 10,000-litre water capacity. He says the project also involves upgrading and mechanization of one borehole to small solar-powered water schemes. He adds that the Nashinga Water Scheme project, which was awarded to Ichikwanka Investment Limited, is being implemented at a cost of about 300 and 10,000 kwacha. Copperbelt Province Health Director Charles Mwenona has urged Mpongwe community health assistants that are currently undergoing training in Ndola to take the training seriously to reduce the high number of malaria incidences in the district. Dr. Mwenona says about 301 community health assistants are being trained in integrated community case management for malaria, which is aimed at reducing malaria incidences. More in the following report.
Over 300 Mpongwe community health assistants have met in Ndola to acquire knowledge and skills on how best they can contribute towards the fight against malaria. Copperbelt Province Health Director has since encouraged the health assistants who are being trained on management of malaria cases in their communities to be active once they return to their areas.
The burden is huge, and especially when it involves children below 5 years. Those are the most hit ones. If it involves mothers who are pregnant, those are highly hit and it's dangerous in them. So to safeguard that, we usually go in a training like this one, where community members are empowered with the knowledge to identify, manage, and appropriate referral of those children and those affected with malaria in the community. You are going to learn. You are going to go and use that information at home or in the communities where you are working and help to save lives. Your relatives, your families know that you've come for a training. So when you go back, you should make a difference and say, yes, I went for a training, and now in this village and in the villages around me, anybody who has got signs and symptoms like this, please let them come to me so that I assess. If I find them not well, I'll treat them. I'll give them preliminary medication before I actually refer.
President Rotary Club Ndola Mkuba says stakeholders from different places have come together to sponsor the workshop.
They'll also be making referrals to health facilities for community members suffering from intestinal and lung diseases. This grant is worth $371,310 United States dollars. It has been funded and supported by many organizations, among them the Lottery Foundations.
Volunteers have also appreciated government and its cooperating partners for sponsoring the workshop.
Kugwaho abantu kubatondeya nzira ya malaria ambayo ibora ambayo yerede uti mane kuti bantu ndere ndi batonde malaria ambayo yerede uti mane
to show them how malaria comes about and how it should be put to an end. For the betterment of the country. This is how I started helping people.
Jacqueline Moba, Zanis, in Ndola.
Government has procured 19,500 sunscreen lotions to be distributed to persons with albinism in Northern Province. Northern Province Chief Pharmacist Kigan Mwape said the sunscreen lotions, which were procured at a cost of 3.5 million kwacha, will be distributed to people with albinism across the province and is expected to last for a year. Tazuana Mlenga brings us this report.
In a bid to support persons living with albinism, government has procured 19,500 sunscreen lotions for Northern Province at a cost of 3.5 million kwacha.
Northern Province has received 19,500 sunscreen lotion, which is specifically meant for our clients. And I'm glad that even the expiry date itself, it's August 2028, meaning that for more than 4 years, our people will be able to have this supply.
The lotions are expected to be distributed to persons living with albinism soon.
Our plan is to make sure that we give them a year's supply, so that for 1 year we are sure that our people will not be able to suffer in terms of the stockouts of this vital commodity. Then we're also calling upon the general public to also pass on this information to our colleagues, the people living with albinism, at least to visit their nearest health facilities so that we can capture them and be able to provide this product to them.
Zambia Agency for Persons with Disabilities, ZAPID, Provincial Coordinator Jenny Nkonde is elated with government's gesture.
We are very grateful from the government of the day, looking at the challenges which persons with albinism go through because of the source that they have that leads to cancer, and most of them, they've died because of the same. So the coming of this sunscreen will really help.
Albinism is a non-contagious genetically inherited condition that is characterized by a lack of pigmentation in the hair, skin, and eyes. For Zanis in Kasama, I'm Tizauna Mlenga.
And finally in the news, the Zambia Federation of Disabilities, ZAFOD, has called on the government to prioritize the construction of more schools with provisions of mobility devices for the learners living with the disabilities. ZAFOD Program Officer Stephen Peary says this will help facilitate their movement and help them participate in classrooms effectively, resulting in an increment in enrollment. More in the following report.
In a call for inclusive and quality education, the Zambia Federation of Disabilities, ZAFOD, has called on the government to prioritize the construction of more schools with provision of mobility devices to the learners with disabilities in all learning institutions. ZAFOD Program Officer Stephen Peary says this will help facilitate their movement and help them participate in classrooms effectively.
So it is our plea to the government of the Republic of Zambia as a disability movement that these schools can be as close as possible to our communities, as well as the provision of assistive devices so that we are able to support learners with disabilities who may be in need of assistive devices such as our mobility aids.
A National Action for Quality Education in Zambia, NAQUE's Executive Director Aaron Chancellor says there is need to enhance the quality of learning for the learners, citing a lack of suitable facilities and tailored curricula in many learning institutions.
So it is our plea to the government of the Republic of Zambia as a disability movement that these schools can be as close as possible to our communities, as well as the provision of assistive devices so that we are able to support learners with disabilities who may be in need of assistive devices such as our mobility aids.
Meanwhile, Ministry of Education Assistant Director for Specialized Services Munyamwamba says the government is committed to ensuring that all learners, regardless of their abilities, receive equal and quality education.
The ministry's policies are inclusive. We leave no one behind in everything that we do, and persons with abilities are on our priority list. Either we give them equal opportunities for them to learn like any other child, and they should benefit from that education, meaning that they should access an education that is quality, they should participate in that quality education, they should benefit from that quality education, and most importantly, we should support these learners together with their teachers and parents.
Rodex Charlie reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
As we end the news, a recap of stories that made headlines. Women across the country engage in activities to celebrate their day. Zambian Defense Forces commended for being professional. Plus, ZAFOD calls for construction of more schools. On that note, we end Zanis News. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, I'm Alice Banda saying goodbye and God bless you.